You have been praying, and nothing is happening. Not a sign, not a shift, not even a whisper. You close your eyes. You lift your voice. You say the words, but it feels like your prayers are hitting a ceiling and falling back down. Like heaven is silent. Like God is not listening. But what if He is listening? And the problem is not His silence. It's your condition. Listen carefully. In the book of Bible, in book of Isaiah chapter 59 verses 1 to 2 it says, "Surely the arm of the Lord is not too short to save, nor His ear too dull to hear. But your iniquities have separated you from your God." That is not encouragement. That is exposure. So the real question is this: what is standing between your prayers and God's response? By the end of this, you will know, and you will have to choose what to do with it. 1. You are praying with sin. You refuse to confront. You think sin only affects behavior. No, it affects access. In book of Psalms 66 to 18, "If I had cherished sin in my heart, the Lord would not have listened." Not might not, would not. That secret habit, that private compromise, that thing you keep returning to, you are not managing it. You are protecting it. And every prayer you pray while holding on to it is hitting a wall you built yourself. Repentance is not a suggestion. It is the door. 2. You are praying while refusing to forgive. You want mercy, but you are holding someone hostage in your heart. In Gospel of Mark, chapter 11, verse 25, "When you stand praying, if you hold anything against anyone, forgive them." Someone came to your mind just now. Yes, that person. You replay what they did. You justify the anger. You keep the wound alive. And then you go to God, asking for peace. It does not work like that. You cannot receive from a God of forgiveness while refusing to become one. 3. You are praying with motives you haven't examined. Not every prayer is pure. Some are selfish, dressed in spiritual language. In Epistle of James chapter 4 verse 3, "You ask and do not receive, because you ask with wrong motives." Pause. Why do you want what you're asking for? That blessing, that opportunity, that open door, is it for God's purpose or your comfort? God is not a vending machine. He is a father, and a good father will not fund a life that is drifting away from Him. 4. You are speaking faith, but living in doubt. You say, "God, I trust you," but your thoughts say, "This will never happen." In Epistle of James chapter 1 verses 6 to 7, "The one who doubts should not expect to receive anything from the Lord." Faith is not words. It is alignment. If your mouth is praying, but your mind is rejecting, you are divided, and divided faith produces empty results. 5. You are ignoring what God already told you. This one is dangerous. God already spoke to you, and you delayed. In First Epistle of John, chapter 3 verse 22, "We receive because we keep His commands." Because that word changes everything. You are asking God for direction while ignoring the last instruction He gave you. That relationship He told you to leave. That step He told you to take. That obedience you postponed. Heaven is not confused. Heaven is waiting. 6. You are praying without truly knowing God. This is the deepest one. You are praying, but there is no relationship. In Gospel of Matthew chapter 7, verse 23, "I never knew you." These were not unbelievers. They prayed. They showed up. They used His name. But they never surrendered. Prayer is not a transaction. It is the breath of intimacy. If you don't know Him, your prayers have no root. Now listen carefully. There are two types of people hearing this right now. One gets defensive. They explain it away. They protect the sin. They keep praying blocked prayers and slowly drift. In book of Proverbs, chapter 28 verse 9, "Even their prayers are detestable." The other person breaks, not in shame, in surrender. They return. In second book of Chronicles 7:14, "If my people will humble themselves and turn, then I will hear from heaven." Then, not before, then. And when that happens, everything changes. Your mind changes. In Epistle to the Romans chapter 12, verse 2, "Be transformed by the renewing of your mind." You stop thinking like someone abandoned. You start thinking like a child. And your prayers stop being empty, because your life is no longer divided. And don't miss this. In Gospel of John chapter 14, verses 2 to 3, Jesus says, "I am going to prepare a place for you. I will come back." He has not forgotten you, but He is calling you higher. This is not just a message. It is a decision. Stay the same. Or say this, right now: "God, I am done blocking what you want to do in my life. Search me, break me, change me. So tell me, which path are you on?" If this pierced you, comment, "God, unblock my prayers. Share this with someone whose prayers feel stuck. And subscribe to Bliss, because the path is narrow, but it leads to life.